In his recent monologue on Saturday Night Live, Dave Chappelle didn't hold back, using humor to tackle serious topics and send a powerful message about empathy. One of the most striking moments of the night came when he addressed former President Donald Trump, urging him to have more empathy for displaced people, whether they are in the affluent Palisades or in the war-torn region of Palestine. Chappelle's approach to this topic was both bold and thought-provoking. He started by referencing the global crisis of displaced people, a subject that is often politically charged and filled with controversy. In his signature style, Chappelle combined humor with sincerity, highlighting the contrast between the experiences of displaced people in wealthy areas like the Palisades, a neighborhood in California, and those in places like Palestine, where conflict and violence have caused devastating displacement for decades. His words were aimed not just at Trump, but at the broader political and social systems that often seem detached from the struggles of ordinary people. By using these two contrasting locations, Chappelle pointed out the stark differences in how displaced people are treated depending on where they are from, and, more importantly, who they are. He emphasized that whether you are displaced due to war, natural disaster, or economic hardship, the basic human need for empathy remains the same. One of the key points Chappelle made was how important it is for leaders, like Trump, to understand the suffering of displaced people from all walks of life. Chappelle's message was clear: empathy should not be selective. While the Palisades is often seen as a symbol of wealth and privilege, and Palestine represents the struggle of people facing displacement and conflict, the fundamental human experience of suffering and displacement is universal. By connecting these two disparate locations, Chappelle invited the audience to think critically about how empathy, or the lack thereof, shapes our world. Chappelle's delivery was sharp, making the audience laugh while also leaving them with something to think about. His ability to make such a serious point through humor is what makes him one of the most effective social commentators in comedy today. He acknowledged that it's easy for people in positions of power to be disconnected from the realities faced by those less fortunate, but he challenged them to step outside their bubbles and understand the struggles of the displaced, no matter where they are. The comedian also pointed out the hypocrisy that often exists in the way societies treat displaced people. For example, while people in affluent areas may be more likely to receive resources and attention, refugees and others displaced by conflict often face discrimination and neglect. Chappelle's call for empathy transcended political divides, urging that human suffering shouldn't be politicized or ignored, but should instead be met with compassion. This moment during Chappelle's monologue was one of several throughout the night that showcased his ability to speak truth to power while still entertaining. He often uses his platform to discuss heavy issues, and this appearance on SNL was no exception. His commentary on displacement was not just about criticizing one individual or political figure, but about urging all of us to look at the way we treat vulnerable populations worldwide. Chappelle's reference to both the Palisades and Palestine also pointed to the need for broader conversations about global inequality and the ways in which governments and institutions respond, or fail to respond, to crises. The comparison was stark, but it served to highlight just how different the experiences of displaced people can be based on their geographic and political circumstances. In the end, Dave Chappelle's plea for empathy in his SNL monologue wasn't just about a single politician or a specific region of the world. It was a call for all of us, regardless of where we come from or what we believe, to remember the humanity of those who are suffering. Whether they are in wealthy neighborhoods or war zones, displaced people everywhere deserve the same compassion and understanding. Chappelle's words serve as a reminder that empathy is a powerful force for change, and it's something that should be shown to everyone, everywhere.